Hello everyone. So today in this video we'll talk about custom API. What is custom API? Why we use them? Its purpose? How we can create it from the start? How we can deploy it? Test them? Okay. So we'll cover different methods, tools, and the prerequisites in a detailed and step-by-step manner in this video. So here currently I have opened the page of Microsoft Learn itself here, which shows the different ways and to create and use a custom API. So in this video, we are going to see the different ways of creating the custom API, which is using the plugin registration tool, Power Apps with code with solution files. So I'll be covering each way in a different part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4 video with a detailed way, each and each step. Okay. And to give you a glimpse, I'm going to create a API and I'm going to register, I'm going to invoke it using the Power Automate. So here for your example, I have already created a sample one, which is doing nothing, but it's showing the all the records created today. So here you can see case name and case. I'm just showing the two fields, case name and case title. You can currently I'm filtering it by today only, whatever the records are created today. You can show a million record also based on the criteria or month or whatever you want. Okay, so we are going to see the records here in the Power Automate. You can give the response using strings or objects, whatever. Okay, now coming here in create and custom API. Okay, so here first let's understand what is custom API. So custom API, it is nothing but a application programming interface. It is a way for developers to create our own interface, which can help us to expose the specific functionality of our app or of any system to the users or any service. Okay, so it is like a tool which allows the developers to make their own web API on any platform. Okay, and we can it also helps us to what do you call that, enable integration with the different external systems. Okay, so right now I'm going to create a custom API and integrate with the Dynamics 365. So in simple terms, it allows all the developers to create the API and handle the what do you call complex business logic, and so whatever we want to show to the users or to the external systems. Okay, it also it helps in prevent in the security manner. So now there are total four ways of creating a custom API. If you come here, they have already mentioned plugin registration tool, Power Apps with code and with solution files. So plugin registration tool. So before moving forward, there are some prerequisites for creating a custom API. So here I'm going to talk with the related to the Dynamics 365. The first thing we need is we need to have a Power Apps license. Okay, because we'll be using Power Apps, basically model driven app. Second thing is you need to have the license of Power Automate because you'll be using some connector. The third thing is you need to have a plugin registration tool and Visual Studio. So we'll be using Visual Studio to write some plugin code, some business logic, and to register that we need plugin registration tool to register that assembly. And after that we are going to create a response parameter, request parameter, and all using plugin registration tool only. So the prerequisites are Power Apps, Power Automate, plugin registration tool, and Visual Studio Code. These are the things which are required. Now here in the four ways, I'm going to cover each four ways in different four videos. I'll be covering first the Power Apps because it is the easiest one to understand. Once you understand this, you'll be able to understand all of them. Okay. So Power Apps will be part one, then part two, part three, and part four. So before moving here, if you want to learn more on the Dynamics 365 contents and all, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Power Dynamics, and you can see there are a lot of videos uploaded related to the PCF, DocuSign templates, SSRS, virtual entity, lot of things. So you can just go there and have a glance. Okay. The second thing is if you are looking for some code, source code, and also I put all those codes in my blog, which is Power Dynamics blog, blogspot.com. Okay. So every code, every details in stepwise and all you can find in my blog as well. So now let's move towards our content, which is part one. Okay, so first of all let's go through each. See, whenever you are going with the plugin registration tool, you need to have the plugin registration tool. And here see, Power Apps and plugin registration tool both follow this almost the same steps. Only difference is Power Automate give you a model driven app where it opens a form and you can give all the details. But in plugin registration tools, you have to have a plugin registration tool installed, and from there you need to, the GUI is different. Okay. The third one is with code. Here, it is kind of one of the complex part where you need to write the code in .NET and you need to upload it. This will be covering at the last. And the fourth one is the solution file. So basically we need to create a solution, unmanaged solution. We need to install it and we need to manually hard code all the API's name, their version, their details and all. Okay. So we're covering all in different parts. And now let's see what they have mentioned here. Create API customization. These are the normal things I'm going to cover, not a problem. Okay. So now while creating a custom API, one major thing is selecting the binding type. Okay. So whenever you create a custom API, we need to select the binding type. By default, whenever you create, it will be selected as a global. So in our case, we are going to, let's say we are going to retrieve all the cases which are created which are present. So the cases, let's say we do not want to give any request parameter. We just want to retrieve all the cases of a month or all the records. So whenever you do not require any input parameters, that time we are going to use global binding type. Okay. So this type is used whenever when the custom API doesn't interact with any specific table or entity in the dataverse. It operates on general data and doesn't require any specific input or context. So we are going with a global type only. The second type is entity. So this type is used when the custom API expects at least a single record from the specific table as input or output. So it allows the API to perform operations on individual records within that entity. Okay. So here, let's say if there is a name or some value which you want to update it, that time you are going to select the type as entity. The last one is entity collection. So this type is used when the custom API works with a collection of records or multiple records from a specific table. So it generally allows the API to perform operations like creating, retrieving, updating multiple record at once. Okay. So this is the major difference between them. So now without wasting much time, let's go on the first one, which is the easiest one, which is the Power Apps. So the first video is going to have how to create a custom API and a plugin and how we can register it, how we can create Power Automate with the Power Apps first part, second part with the plugin registration tool, third part with the solution file, fourth one with the code. So now let's go to Studio and check the requirement. So here in this third part of creating custom API, we are going to focus on the with solution files, how we can create a custom API using the solution file. In the first part, we have already seen using Power Apps, then plugin registration tools, and now with the solution files. So you can make custom API in a Power App or plugin registration tool, but there is another way. By working with the files, we can simply create an unmanaged solution. Okay, and it might be better for those who follow the recommended practices for application lifecycle, that is ALM. So a solution, it is like a compressed zip file. Whenever you download it, it will be a zip file and then you need to uncompress it, right? The same way we need to unzip it, and then we need to change the source repository, we need to edit the code, then again we need to zip back them, and we need to increase the version of that solution, and we need to import it. So that is the basic. So let's come here and see what it says is the solution files. First of all, you need to create an unmanaged solution. Okay, unmanaged solution, and then we need to export it. After exporting, we need to convert there are these three files: content types, .xml, customization, solutions. Okay, now we need to add our files, like see, add the definition of the custom API. We have, this is optional, we need to add the custom API request parameter, response parameter, or what are the details is there. We need to compress it and we need to import it back. Okay, so now let's see here. First we are going to create a solution, a new solution. So just come here, go to your environment, and the first one is custom API solution, which was used for the Power App. The second one was API solution 2. Now I'm going to use another solution. Let's come here, give the name as CUSTOM custom API solution 3. And remember, as in the previous video also, we need to remember the publisher name, which we need to give in the unique name. Okay, so just select here, and if you go here, you should be able to see the publisher name, which is CRFA. Okay, cancel it, and I'm going to save it. So once you have created a solution, you just download it. There is no need to do anything. Just come back, okay, here and export the solution. Click on next, and remember it should be unmanaged. Okay, if you click on managed and again if you try to put it back, it's not going to work. So download it as a managed solution and remember the version. Right now it is 1.0.0.1. While again we need to do all the changes. After that we need to import it, so that time the version should be 1.0.0.2. okay, so let's click on export, and now it's going to take some time, so let's just wait. Currently it's exporting the solution, so hold on. So it is downloaded, sorry, it's done. Let's download it, and downloads custom API solutions 3. Click on save. Okay, now coming here, let's see custom API. Okay, so first of all we need to unzip it. Okay, so if I come back here, extract. Okay, let's keep it here only. Okay, now in this one you can see there are total 3 files. So if you come here in their website, not plugin registration tool. Okay, while importing the files, we have 3 files. They have also mentioned like content types, customization, and solution types. Okay, this is the new solution. If you have added anything else in the solution, then it will show you the more files and folders as well. But if it is showing just this much, then it's the correct one. It's good to go. Click on cancel. Here we have already exported it, right? So it should be somewhere. It is here. Let's open it. Okay, now in the content type, solutions and customization is there. So first of all we need to open the solution.xml, this file. Okay, because this only contains the what is the version of our solution. So let's come here and update the version. Current version is 1.0.01. So whenever we update the solution, it should be increased version. So make it as 2. Okay, and save it. So this part is done. Let's close it. Okay, now let's see here what they have mentioned is definition, add a relation. Okay, add any custom API request parameter. Okay, not before this we need to create a custom API. Okay, add the definition of the custom API. Okay, so here all custom API, they are found with a, see if you can see, they are found with a name called a custom API. Okay, so let's see, I have already created some other solution called API solution 1 and 2. So whenever you download this solution, you'll find a folder called custom API. So while uploading it, we also need to create a similar folder here. So let's come here and we need to create a, where is this custom API? Okay, we need to create a folder called custom API. Let's come back here. We are doing everything manually now. So create a folder with a new folder called custom API. Okay, and inside this custom API we need to create another folder. Okay, so if you come here you can see we have another folder which should be unique name. It's not necessary for any, like, see, we are going to give this sample this name itself. So coming here and let's give a name, another folder, custom API example, and now inside this folder we are going to create an XML file. So let's click a new text file. Okay, going to come and here we have the code like edit the custom API dot, okay, so we are going to create this custom API.xml and copy this one. Okay, come here, let's just paste it. Okay, and anything to change here, a simple example of custom API. Okay, this is done. So just going to save as, it should be, the name should be exactly as custom API. Okay, let's say if you are going to give some any other name, your custom API will not be visible in the solution. Okay, so make sure the names are exactly as it is what they have mentioned in their website. Okay, so custom API dot XML. Okay, done. Now let's leave this and come back and see here custom API dot XML. Okay, perfectly fine. So let's see the next step, which is set a relation to a plugin type. Okay, so let's say if you have created any plugin, okay, that plugin need to be associated here. So set a relationship with this is an XML file type, plugin type, export. Okay. So we just need to copy this file here. Okay. And paste it in our existing one, which is custom API example. Okay. So plugin type ID. We do not need plugin. See, okay. If we come here, we can see there are plugin type ID, and inside this one we are having plugin type export key. Okay, so add the GUID value of the plugin type export key. Let's say if you have created any plugin code and you have registered that assembly in the plugin registration tool, so there is a way to get the GUID of that I'm going to show you right now. So first of all, let's just paste it here, remove this and paste it. Okay, now we need to remove this part and we need to put the GUID. So to get the GUID, just let me give you an example. Coming to the view here in the assembly, let's say my plugin name is Rajnish. Okay, so here it's one second. I think I have one example. So this is just to you can have any plugin. The main thing is plugin ID. Okay, so coming here Rajnish. Okay, just click on this, and once you click on this, just expand it, and we have the properties here. Right. Click on one second. If you click on the properties, so okay. Here we can see we have a lot of details like name, package, public token and all. Just scroll up just a little bit more and there should be a plugin ID somewhere. That only we need to copy. Okay. Package name, system ID. Okay, not this one. Okay. So, okay. So we have selected the whole assembly. Actually, we need to select the plugin, right? So click on the plugin and in the properties, you can see here assembly ID we don't need. We need the plugin ID. Okay. So this one you copy it, come here and paste it. Okay, this is just an example. Later I'm just creating it right now. We are going to create a plugin as well. Okay, so we'll create a plugin, we'll register it there, and then with that updated registered that GUID we are going to paste it here. But I have already showed you the way how to do this. Okay, so right now we are just putting this one, Control S. Now this is saved. Okay, now coming back here to the another step of creating a API request parameter. So we do not need any API request parameter. As earlier also shown, we are not going to give any input. So we just want to retrieve all the cases. So we are only going with the response parameter. Okay, so the response parameter, it need to have what? It need to have a unique name. Okay, so any definition of response parameter included in the folder custom API response properties. Okay, within that folder custom API report. Okay, so this one, whatever we have created a folder, right? Custom API folder. So inside that folder only we need to create a custom API response properties as well. So let's just copy this one and come back here. We have, okay, this one we need to delete. And if you can see here, just go back, we have this sample custom API example, right? So in this one only we have the custom API. And now whatever the request parameter, that request parameter, response parameter, it need to have a separate folder. So click on new, click on folder, give exactly same name. If there is any mismatch and all, it's not going to show you on the solution. Okay, now open this one, and inside this one we need to create another with another unique name of response parameter. So here we have created the custom API property. Okay, this one. So for each API response property, we need to create a new folder. Okay, so now we need to create a new folder again inside this, and then we are going to create a custom response parameter.xml. So let's come back here and create a new folder inside custom API property and give it a name, something like custom API solution 3. Okay, and now inside this one we need to just copy and paste the same name of this as we created earlier, the XML file. So coming here, let's create a new text document, coming here, and what should be the content? The content also we are going to copy from here only, this XML file. Coming here, paste it, save as, The name should be exactly matching with this one. So I'm just going to copy and paste it here. Save. Okay. Now coming here, this one is saved. So just delete it. Okay. So now let's see here. The next step is we are done. Compress all the files and create a new solution file. Okay. So what we have done is we have created a folder which was there are a lot of structure. Okay, so first we downloaded the custom API solution 3, we extracted it, and in that one we created a one folder. Okay, inside this one we created a custom API solution, sorry, folder. Inside that solution again we gave a unique name and created another folder where we gave our custom API, and we in custom API we did some changes, I think. And to give any response parameter or request parameter, we create another folder. In that folder we create another folder again with a unique name, and inside here we give the custom API response property. Okay, this is how it looks. Now coming back here, we need to compress all the files. So let me just copy the name and increase the version, Control C, just select everything, which is more solutions, send to, and zip it, give it a name as 02. Okay, now we have done this. So remember, we have not created the plugin yet, but we have given the ID. Okay, so either you can either you can create a plugin, you can get the ID, and you can again paste it here in the custom API solution. Okay, in this one, in the custom, it was somewhere in here, I think. This one you can paste it here after creating the plugin, which I'm going to do right now, and later you can change this GUID. Once this is done, what we need to do is we need to compress it. Okay, and we have to change the version, and after changing the version we need to import it into our environment. Okay, so now let's see how to create a plugin first, how to register it, how to register that assembly. Okay, and then we are going to go with the next step of importing the solution into the Power Apps, and then create the Power Automate and everything. Okay, so let's open the Visual Studio, and in the Visual Studio we are going to create a plugin project now. Okay, so for creating this plugin we need to have a .NET of version 4.6.2. Okay, so create a new project of .NET Framework Library with this one. Okay, click on next, and let's give a name as Dynamics Power. Okay, and source repo. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, so now once you create it, first of all you need to have the assemblies to create. If you know, if you have worked with the plugin earlier, we need to have the assemblies. So first of all, let's add the assemblies. Go to manage new with package manager, coming here, and it should be xrm.sdk, xrm.sdk something, core assemblies, this one. Okay, install it, accept it. Okay, now this is done. So coming here, I'm just going to, right now it's installing the background, I'm going to delete this class file, delete it. Okay, and going to create a new class file, which is add new item class, and let's give some meaningful name as custom API example. Okay, so let's add it. Okay, done. So the namespace is Dynamics Power Custom API example. Okay, so now I have already created a code for this, which I'm going to show you and explain you everything. Okay, first of all we need to have the execution context, organization context, we need to know the entity logical name. So for my case, I'm going to retrieve all the cases, so the logical name is generally incident. If you're going with the account or contact or whatever opportunity lead, you need to have that logical name, schema name of that. Okay, so let me just copy and paste it here, the code, coming. Okay, let me just first note down the dynamics power. Okay, control V. Okay. So in case if you have not installed that XRM SDK assembly, it's going to throw you error. But right now you can see there is zero error. Okay. And in this code, there is one more extra requirement I'm going to show you after. Let me first explain this one. So in this code, one second, let me just, okay. So in this code, we are using this namespace, which is dynamics power. Okay. And it should be of, by default, it will be class, but we need to make it as a public class in order to use it. Okay. Now, this execute method is nothing but the entry point for the plugin execution. It takes the iService provider parameter and generally it is provided the Dynamics 365 platform itself. Okay, so this execute method, this organization method, hold on, these are the normal setup. Okay, now the main thing is entity name. Here this is, you should know, let's say if I come here and if I go to, where is it, not this one. Okay, you need to know the that schema name. So just open any record and go to your this extension, not this one. Let me just 1 second. Let's say I'm opening any account record. Okay, just this is the easy way to get the entity schema name. Okay, so open this one. Once the record is opened, go to this one. This is power pane and entity info. Okay, you copy this entity name. Copy this entity name and paste it here in the logical name. Okay, so it's going to affect only for this schema name in entity logical name. Okay, now here I'm using the link query to retrieve the case properties, case details and all. You can use fetch XML or some link query, anything you can use, it's yours. Right now I'm using link query. Okay, so here you can see it is retrieving all the case records. Okay, currently it is of static code equal to 0. Okay, this is a normal case state code. Here, let's say if you are having 10,000 or 15,000 records and you want to filter it using, you want to see which is created just today, then this is the extra property which I have added, like date and time, it should be created on today. And this is some format of that. Okay, so you can add any filter condition by month, by year or anything. Okay, and you can add it. But right now I'm just going to get all the cases here. And I'm getting the case title, created on, and case name, because these are the major details which we want to see for the case details. Okay. Now we are executing the query. Okay. This is taking the to list. And now we are giving the response here. Okay. So whatever the case title, case by and all, it will be given in the response as I showed you in the first part, the case title name, everything in the string value. But this is just for the understanding purpose. If you want to use the objects, I have the code for that as well. I'm going to show you after this one. So for the code, what we need to do is, instead of this one, wait, first let me finish this. We can use that object and we can send the response in JSON format, which can be used in other places as well. But right now we are showing only in the string for your understanding. Now just the main thing is a response. Here see, if you want to put the case title, case name and all separating, these are, I have just commented it, not required. Right now I'm just going to say the case name and case title. If you want to say created by, created on, anything, you can put it here. And this is for separating a new line. Okay, that's all. And here this is API response. If you remember, while creating the custom API, we created API response parameter as well. Here we gave API response. This was the name. So that name exactly should match here. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to save it. Okay. Before saving it, we need to sign in the assembly. Okay. If you try to register the assembly without signing in, it's going to throw you an error and not going to register it. So just click on this one and click on properties, sign in the assembly, and give new, let's give the name as custom API plugin. Click on OK, custom API example. Okay, now let's save it and build it. Yeah. So build is successful. Okay, one second. Okay, so the build is successful and this is the one. Okay, let me just register it and I'm going to show you how we can use the objects as well here. Okay, so now we need to open the plugin registration tool. So just come here, plugin registration, sorry, not this one, plugin registration tool. Okay, we need to create a connection in this playlist of organization. Okay, login, select your environment, login. Okay, now we need to register the assembly. If you remember earlier, we have created a custom API, but we have not assigned the assembly there. So first, after registering this, we are going to assign the assembly as well. So loading the messages, it may take few seconds for this. So this is loaded. Let's come here, register new assembly. Okay, if you can see here, one second, let me just close it. You can see here, you can see the option of register new custom API as well. Okay, so from here itself, from the plugin registration tool, we can create a new custom API. So register new assembly, click here. Let's give our path, and here Dynamics Power is our plugin. Click on OK, select it, and so it give you an option. Okay, so now the assembly is registered. Our plugin is ready to give the logic of retrieving all the cases. So once the plugin is ready, now we are going to attach it to our custom API. Okay, so now let's start. So once we have registered our assembly, if you remember, we have created this folder, right? One second. Here we have created this folder, and inside this one, I think inside the custom API response, custom API. Okay, so earlier we had just given the plugin ID of another plugin, right? So now we are going to update this plugin ID. So the Dynamics Power, go to your plugin, and if you go to the properties, let me just scroll it a little bit up. And now you can see the plugin ID, right? So this is the plugin ID, copy it and let's paste it here. Okay, paste it here, Control S, we are done. Now what we need to do is we have updated it. So let's, instead of using this solution, I'm just going to copy this name and delete this, create another zip file, send to, and we are going to use this, import this solution. Okay, so send to compressed file zip2. Okay, let's go to our Power App environment, which is custom API solution. Going back, and let's click on import solution, which is browse. Go to downloads, which is this one, this solution. Click on OK. Remember to change the version. If you do not change the version, you are going to, it's going to throw you some errors. Click on open, click on next, and import it as an unmanaged solution. Okay, import it. Now it's going to take some time. So what happens once it is imported successfully, it's going to show you the custom API as well as the response parameter both in this solution. So right now it is 1.0.1. Let's wait. It's going to change to 1.0.2 as well. And you can see currently it is showing as currently importing the solution. Okay, so let's just wait. Okay, so here it is giving me the error that custom API solution failed to import. Lookup value is not resolvable. Okay, cannot be resolved. So let's see what is the issue. Let's come back here. What was it? Not this one. Okay, so well exported this and this. Unmanaged solution with it. Extracted at the definition. Unique name custom API XML. Okay, sample. Custom unique name of custom API. Okay, so coming here to our solution. API custom API solution. Okay, so the problem is, if you remember in our previous step as well in the Power Apps in plugin registration tool, this sample custom API example, this one is wrong actually. It should have the prefix of the publisher, like CRFN something it was there, right? So if we come here and if you see here in the Power Apps, this one, right? Let me just go here and the setting. The publisher name is not sample, but it is CRFA, this one. Okay. So what we are going to do is, this is the mistake. This is the reason it's not coming properly. So we need to change this name. Okay. Let's change this name and give something like custom API 3. Okay. Now we are going to just remove this. Okay. And copy this name. Okay. Remember, it should be unique name. That's why we got the error. Okay. And show more options. I'm going to follow the same way. Just change the version, which is already changed. Coming back here, let's cancel this and try to import it again. It should not throw any error. Let's just downloads this one. Okay, click on next, click on next, and let's wait for some time now. Okay, so now you can see that solution custom API has successfully imported. Okay, remember it should be unique name. It should have exactly the same name as given in the Microsoft website. The names, convention, everything. Otherwise, it's going to throw you an error. So now let's check whether those API are reflecting here or not. Okay, you can see the custom API has been added here and the custom API response parameter. Okay, so now we are going to use. So now we are going to create a Power Automate, which will trigger this our custom API. Okay, Power Automate. So to create a Power Automate, first of all, you need to have a license of creating Power Automate. Okay, so either you can create it into the same solution to invoke this custom API, or you can go to the Power Automate flow page here. Okay, and let's test it whether it is resulting the result or not. Okay, let's go to my flows. I'm going to create a new auto instant cloud flow. Let's give a name as dynamics power. Okay, give it a stretch niche, and I'm going to trigger it as manually. Okay, so click on create. And now here we do not need any more connectors, just one connector is enough. Let's go to the old designer form. And what we need to perform an outbound action. Okay, so click on, see if you have any input parameter or not, you can just click on this one, add an input. But right now we are not giving any input, right? So Microsoft Dataverse and select outbound action, perform an okay unbound action, sorry. Click on this. Now here, what is the response name? See, if we come here in the plugin, what we created the plugin Dynamics Power, and the response name is API response, right? So we need to select exactly the same name here. So coming here and let's select it, API. Okay, sorry, we do not need to give the API response, but the unique name of the our API. Okay, so let's say I have created multiple API. One is for Power Apps, one is for plugin registration tool, and the third one is for solution file. So whatever you choose, both of them are will be connected to the same plugin, whatever we have registered here, right? This Power Dynamics, it's going to be the same plugin, but just with a different unique name of the custom API. So I'm just going to select a name CR, what was it? Oh, okay. So I'm going to select the first one. All are having the same. So let's taste it now, save it, taste it manually. Okay, let's run the flow. And let's see if it's returning any value or not. Okay, so your flow has run successfully. If you come here, you can see there are total 4 cases. Okay, and if I come here to the account, let's see how many cases are there total. If you go here to the cases, It's loading, let's wait. Okay, so here we have total four cases. If we go to all cases, actually total four cases only. So it's showing four. Now, in case if there is multiple thousand of records and all, you can just add some filter criteria here. Okay, right now I've just commented it. If you want, you can use for today or month or by day, whatever you want, you can add it. So this is currently it is returning. What it is returning? It's returning the string. If you can see, case name we have given manually and the case title and all, but not all the details. So right now it is for Power Apps. Now let's say if you want to select it for API 3, okay, which is for I have created for solution. Okay, so let's just check it. Click on test. Or see, we can have multiple API, but with which plugin it is associated. The Dynamics Power, right? So whether it is with the Power Apps or with the plugin registration tool or with the solution files, if it is related with the same plugin, then it's going to give you the correct result only. Okay. So it all depends on the logic of the plugin. So let's just save and test. Okay, here also it is returning, and I think it's going to give you the same result. Okay, so now this is done. What we have learned here is how to create a plugin and register it. Sorry, how to create a custom API and all. Okay, so before that, before ending the video, let me show you one more, give you one more tips here. So right now we are returning just the string. Okay, now let's see if you want to use the objects. Okay, objects in this, and you want to return in the JSON format because that may be used for other purpose and all. Okay, so for that, what you can do is we can simply build and return the response objects. Okay, so first of all, in order to send the response in JSON, we need to have the here like how we added that NuGet package, right, of XRM SDK. Same way, first of all, we need to add here one package which is called, I think, using it's Newton soft. Yeah, Newton EWT sorry, Newton soft dot JSON. Okay, okay. Right now it is not recognizing. So what you need to do is you need to add the assembly. Okay, just add the assembly. Manage NuGet package manager. Click on Dynamics. Okay, sorry, that's right. Paste it. And this one, install it. Okay. So there are different ways which we can through which we can call this custom API. Okay, there are different literally ways we can use the external API and sorry any other tools. We can get this. We can use get the URL and we can paste there and we can retrieve all the records. Okay, that one I'll be covering in another video. So right now let's see whether okay now you can see this this error is gone. Okay, so instead of using here these things are fine, the link query we do not need to update anything. The main thing is here string. Okay, what we are doing is we have this string response, so this one we need to change. What we need to use is, let me just copy and paste it. I have already written the code, so here paste this one. Okay, and okay, let me just copy and paste the whole code only instead of this one. Control V here. 1 second. So created by and created on. So we just need to comment it because we are not using this filter of created by and created on, right? So what I need to do now is just save it, rebuild the solution. Okay. And now currently it is giving you, it is in a string format, right? Now once we upload this assembly, once we update it, it's going to give you in the JSON format if the plugin is correct. Okay. So here this view is okay, fine. Let's come to Dynamics Power, our assembly. Okay, I'm going to update it, select it. Okay, I'm just giving another way. And after this, I'm going to show you there are what are other things I'm going to cover in another video. Okay, just hold on for 1 minute. And now I'm just going to rerun this one. Okay, so test it. Okay, it has triggered successfully. Your flow is running. Okay. Okay. Now, if we see here, now you can see the format has changed. Okay. Now this is in JSON format. Okay. A name, this, you can just copy and paste it somewhere. Now you can see CRF, this API 3, 1, 2, all are having same only. It's all associated with the same plugin. So no need to get confusion and all. Now we just summarize the whole process. What we did is we created the custom API. Where is it? One second. Here we have custom API. One second. So we created a custom API using Power Apps first in the first video. Then I have already published another video which is using plugin registration tool, and the third one is with the solution files. Okay, and in all of them we created one plugin, we registered it, and we created custom API, the response property, and then we assigned that plugin assembly to this plugin type if in all those three. Okay, first, second, and three, because we need to in order to execute that API, we need to have some plugin registered with that. Okay, once it is registered, and make sure that it is of type global to retrieve all the cases, and you have given the unique name for all the custom API. Okay, like same here, you can see the custom API name is CRFA custom API 123 and all, and it should always start with the prefix. If you are giving not giving this one, then I already showed you, it will throw you some error. Okay, after creating that, in the normal Power Apps, we just associated it, and we created a Power Automate flow to test it. But in the plugin registration tool, we created this API using this from here, from the view. Okay, from the view we placed, you can check the part 2 for that. And for the third part, which is this one, where we downloaded an unmanaged solution and we unpacked it, and then we again manually created this custom API folder here with the unique name. And inside this one we have the response property, the custom AI, where we need to change the version of the app, and the property, the names, the plugin GUID, we need to give it here. You can see, not in this one. Here we have it. Okay, GUID. This is in part 3. So I have already covered everything, part 1, part 2, and part 3, which you can refer. And in case if you want to get the code of this plugin, whatever I have written, all the codes, it will be posted into my blog, which is blogspot.com. If you come here, I'll be sharing it soon, which is okay, currently this is another one. So here I post all the different kinds of whatever videos I post. You can find the code here. Okay, and I have also prepared a document which I'll be sharing in the description. You can see custom API, what is custom API, what are the different types with each step, and with this snapshot and all. I have already covered it. You can see, you can get all the materials. And if you have any doubts, you can post in the comment sections and let me know. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.